Hi everyone, Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today we're going to look at the astrology and Kabbalah of September 2020, and we'll start with the numerology of the month. So let me just set that up. Okay, everyone. So we're going to talk about, as I said, the astrology and Kabbalah of September. The first thing we're going to look at is the numerology, because that's how we connect. That's how we connect everything to the Kabbalah. So if we look at September and the month of September by itself, we know that we're dealing with the ninth month, right? It's hard to say, actually. And 9 is the number or the vibration that symbolizes spirit and energy, fully conscious, completion, wisdom, unconditional love. So within the vibration of the 9, within the vibration of the month, we have a sense of a sense of completion. We have a sense of a need for great wisdom and for unconditional love. There is a need this month for us to offer and practice that unconditional love. It doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what people do. We still need to sort of keep that opening up, that opening to unconditional love. And it doesn't make the people doing the bad things more powerful to do bad things. That's not the way it works. Really, it's if you want to take their power away in the way that they're using it, right? You love them. You love them, and it brings it around. It brings it around. I'm sorry about that. All right, so if we look at the year vibration, we have a 4. Of course, 2020 is a 4 year. 4s can be crisis. 4s can be opportunity. 4 symbolizes stability and structure on the material plane. So it's very interesting that we're in a 4 year, which deals with stability and structure, and everything is falling apart. And everything is falling apart. We are at a time in our evolution where we are going to have to make drastic changes. And those drastic changes are from where we were to a place of love, to a place of opening our hearts. We've been so mind-oriented and focused in that sort of linear way that we forget that we need to love. And so we just need to love, and that love will help us find the stability and find the structure that is the promise of 2020. And then you add those two vibrations together and we get a 13-4 vibration. This vibration rebels against the old, brings in the new. It is a time of transformation and release. So we are really moving from that authoritarian, male, hierarchical, authoritarian energy. And that is something that's happening this month. This month. The amount of evolution that people are going through month to month, it used to be century to century, then it was decade to decade, and then maybe it was, year to year. And then it started to happen at such an accelerated rate that we have been sort of even though 2020 is like a huge, like, whoa, we've actually been working up to be able to even be in the energy that is 2020. We have been getting upgraded continuously over the last, I would have to say, 2011, or even before the 2010, maybe 2010. That to me felt like a real um, profound shift year. For when things really started to speed up evolutionarily. And so we've had to let go of a lot. We've had to look at a lot of things. There's just but let go so that we can be the light. We can be the light. We can be light on this planet, but structure, but within a structure. So whatever your creative light is, right? What's your creative light? What is it? How do we bring that in? Well, we have to let go of some old stuff, and we have to be willing to trust to a certain extent, because letting go is sometimes the hardest thing to do. I mean, you think about, like, say you're on some sort of thing where you can hold on, and then once you, like, say bungee jumping, I don't think they do it this way, but say they did, like, you could hold on as long as you needed to, and then when you were ready, you could let go, and go and take that plunge. But the fear that you have to get through to let go, the fear to let go and know that you will be cradled by the love of God, Goddess, by the love of the divine. And not only cradled, but you reach even a bigger and broader, like just a bigger and broader platform, you know. All right, let's see. So I get, this is the basic meaning of the karmic debt number, 13/4. It's considered the karmic debt number. The karmic debt numbers are 13/4, 14/5, and 16/7. So it's the death card, the tower card, and the temperance card. Yeah. So the basic meaning, and I get this from Numerology, Spiritual Light Vibrations by Jean. That's the book. Transformation and release. This 13/4 has been one of the most misused and misunderstood vibrations of this age. It has been misinterpreted. 13/4 is a beautifully high concentration of the masculine numbers 1 and 3, and the vibrations give direction, decisiveness, aggressiveness, and stimulate a creative individuality and self-expression and ambition. The purpose and goal of this vibration is to bring the spiritual insights into expression and into practical form and structure. To do this, we must rid ourselves of the old and rebuild for the new. The transformation of life, which is sometimes called death, means letting go of the old and a rebirth into the new. The ancients considered this one of the most fortunate and the most unfortunate number, because it presents a seemingly dual vibration of life and death or change. 4 demands service to others. 13/4 means an opportunity to do big things with the many, and demands great selflessness to transform and regenerate humanity. So it is a very, very powerful number of transformation, but you have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to put your back into it. And this month, we actually, because I'm still in I'm still in August, we just had Saturn square Mars. And Saturn square Mars is going to pretty much be in sort of like Saturn square Mars is an energy that's sticking with us through the rest of this year, as is Saturn square Pluto, as Saturn square, I'm sorry, Saturn, as is Mars square Pluto, Mars square Jupiter. Because those squares are happening 3 times between now and the end of the year. And so we're in that, it's really a real effort to push through so that you can get to the other side of it and really start expressing, really start being in your power, or being in your creativity, or being in your love, or being in your whatever, whatever it is that's driving you. Okay. So here are the 2 cards associated with the 9 vibration, the Hermit, and the 4, the Emperor. Remember, the 9 is the month vibration. The Emperor is the year vibration. So the year vibration, as the Emperor card, is dominion, having dominion over a part of your life. Do you have dominion over your life? And so as we moved through the months within the year of 2020, there is this sense of the first question we might ask is, do you have dominion of your freedom? Do you have dominion of your freedom? That would have been January. So, and then each month it's been another question. And this month, are we in dominion of our wisdom? Are we in dominion of our wisdom? And will we shine our light? Not can we shine our light, but will we? Because everybody, at whatever stage you're at, or whatever stage you think you're at, you have something to contribute to the conversation. You have something to contribute to the world. Your stories matter. And the more stories we hear, and the more stories we listen to, and the more stories we get to tell, the things that are most important in our lives, the things and the moments in our lives that change the direction of our lives. And a lot of people, those moments are very wrought with emotion and pain. I mean, the things that propel us forward in life are usually the things that pull the rug out from under us. And so if you've had those experiences, it pays in a way to be heard, to have those experiences, if it's a kind of experience that you want to share, but that you can. There are so many stories out there, and our experience is what really hones our wisdom. We get wise because we make a lot of mistakes. We choose incorrectly, or but if you're choosing to grow, it's the best choice that we can make. And we need each other now. We need to shine the light and hold each other's hand. And we need to remember that while not everybody's experience is the same, we are in this together. We're in this with, the poor man in Wisconsin who was shot 7 times in the back. And we're in this with, Ivanka Trump. She's in with us too. We're all one. and everybody plays their role. And we're trying to remind ourselves that we have to return to love, which is a book written by Marianne Williamson, interestingly enough. So if we look at the death card, the 13-4 vibration, which is the vibration of this month, we can see that there's a skeleton in black riding a white horse. White horse is often the symbol of death. And below, they've already passed a king whose crown has fallen. And there's a child there, not afraid of death, offering death flowers. And then the young girl here, not able to face death. And then the priest trying to pray his way out of death. Death comes for all of us, but death isn't necessarily physical death, although for some it is. But it's a death of an old way of being, as opposed to the death of being, right? Says you are involved in a major transformation. This is one of the greatest transformations you have known. You must go through this change alone. One of the things that Saturn teaches us is about being alone or being lonely. We can feel very, very lonely with Saturn in Capricorn, as Saturn goes through Capricorn, and then Jupiter goes through and then Pluto goes through Capricorn. A lot of what we are experiencing is, the soul reminding us that we're not alone. But if you're in your own little mind bubble all the time, and you're not thinking about and feeling through your heart what other people are going through, we have to return to that. We have to go back to that energy. It didn't go anywhere. And, we didn't go anywhere either, I guess, on a certain level. But where your attention where your attention goes, your energy flows. And so sometimes, things are created so that the energy flows in the direction of love. And, when we see people suffering, when we see children in cages, when we see, fires burning, forests and animals hurting, and, Black people getting shot because they're Black, and, it's just, it opens our hearts. It makes us feel. And we can have that compassion for one another without actually having to go through the trauma that we're going through. You can choose to open your heart. You can choose to open your heart to each other. That's the 9. That's the 9. So there is this sense of aloneness. And it says here that you will be reborn into newness. But first, you must face your darkest fears. Do not forget, the darkest hour is just before dawn. So we are at a time of a new dawn, and September holds that within it. There's going to be something about September that holds that energy of this is when we let go and we chose love. All right, let's see. That was from Tower of the Spirit by Pamela Eakins. That little blurb that's in her book for her death card in her deck, which is a great deck, by the way. The death card is located on the path between Netzach, the Sephiroth of Venus, and Tiphereth, the Sephiroth, the Sun. So now we're talking a little bit more about the Kabbalah here and the Tree of Life. It is the 24th path on the Tree of Life, called the imaginative intelligence. Imagination changes all form. So if you imagine the worst to happen, you create the worst. If you imagine the best to happen, you create the best. So where do you want to put your energy? Where do you want to focus your energy? Do you want to create the worst possible scenario? Or would you prefer to create the best possible scenario? The choice is ours. We get to choose. We get to choose. And spirit will work with us. Spirit will work with us, and the earth will work with us, depending on which way we choose, right? This path is associated, and this card is associated with the sign of Scorpio. The Scorpio key, death, is the pathway from Netzach, which is located in the 3rd chakra, and Tiphereth, which is located in the 4th chakra. It is here that the transformation of our personal desires and biases free us from attachment to a personal life, allowing us to contact our higher spiritual self, which resides in Tiphereth, the chakra, the heart chakra. There's chakra, the heart chakra, but it's in the heart chakra, or the 4th chakra, which is the heart chakra, sorry. And we look here on the tree of life. This is the tree of life right here. We've sort of been talking about it without looking at it. But here's Tiphereth, beauty. Here's Netzach, victory. And here is the path of the 13-4. It's associated with the death card. You can see that's the death card. You can't see it that well, but it's the death card. And fish is the name of the Hebrew letter, or what the Hebrew letter means, nun, means fish. And that's what it says, fish there. It's associated with that Hebrew letter. So there's the 13-4 here. Here's the 9. Okay, there's the Hermit card. The 9 is unconditional love and wisdom. It's associated with Virgo. It's associated with the Hebrew letter Yod, which is just the little one that looks like a little flame. In fact, the whole alphabet is made up of Yods, little flames. That's why it's called a flame language, Hebrew. So we have the Yod here, which means hand. So it's interesting that, Yod means hand, and the whole alphabet is made up of little Yods or little hands. And it's like we're creating in a way with our hands, right? Excuse me. And then we have the emperor right here. It says window because it's associated with hey, I think, which means window. And so in 2020, because this is the vibration, 2020, right? The 4 vibration, we get a window into the future, a possible future. We get like a little look and say, this is what it's going to look like. How are you going to choose? And then in 2021, we're moving into a 5 vibration, which is all about listening to your inner voice, and all about change and freedom. So, but we're not there yet. We still have a lot of heavy lifting to do in 2020. And that's part of the squares that I'm going to talk about when I go through the astrology. But the squares of Mars to Jupiter, to Pluto, to Saturn, and then to Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter, and then to Jupiter. So it's like three's, that old expression, three's a charm. It really matters what we do. It really matters. And it's going to take a lot of effort, and we have to be willing to do the effort. And that is in all realms of life. It's not the same for everybody. Not everybody is going to be on the picket line. Not everybody is going to be in the halls of government trying to change things and trying to make things better, or trying to figure out where the evil lies, right? Not everybody's going to do that. What is it that you do in your life 100%? Are you 100% a mother? Are you 100% a teacher? Are you 100% a healer? And just, go in it. Be the best one that you can be. And in that, we're potentiating the energy so that things will change and we will go in the direction that we want to see. Personally, I want to see a world that is based on a balance between love and ambition, right? I mean, like if you're ambitious to do something, then do it. But, if you want to love something, like do what you love and love what you do. One of my I've had a lot of teachers in my day, and one of the most powerful things that a teacher ever taught me was John DeMartini, who was actually in The Secret. Um, One of his mantras was do what you love and love what you do. And then you could add and find out a way to get, to get paid for doing it, right? But, that's the entrepreneurial part, right? And I think that's, and, getting paid to do it is not necessarily only all about money. It doesn't have to all be about money. It can be about money, but money is abundance. And when a person is abundant, then they can share that abundance, and so on and so forth. We're kind of closed down now. We have this sense of lack, but there's only lack, I think, within the system, where we're prescribed to have lack. You can access other parts of yourself and other energies instead of just the mental focus that we put into um, what it means to be successful. What does that mean? Does it mean you have to make a lot of money? Does it mean that you have to have a lot of freedom? Does it mean that you have to have a lot of power? All right. What else? The other interesting thing about this is that all of the paths activated right here, here, and here connects to the heart, connected to breath. This is the heart chakra, which you'll see in the next the next picture. But everything is coming from this side of the tree, and this side of the tree is the side associated with the past. It's also the masculine side and called the pillar of mercy. And so there's energy moving from the past to the present. Now that can be an energy of letting go of the past. Remember, 13/4 is about letting go of the past. Or is it about deriving from the past the wisdom that you have gained, not just from this lifetime, but for many, many lifetimes, from all your lifetimes, asking you to come into your heart and express from that place, come from a completely heart-centered place in September. Because it's the core. And then the wisdom coming, this is wisdom. This is mercy. This is victory, all moving in the direction of beauty. All moving in the direction of beauty. And beauty moving in that direction. Because every one of these is a two-way street. Every one of them. So we are both letting go of the past and accessing the past for what values and things that still help us to understand, right? Okay, so let's look at the chakras here. So as I said, these are the paths. This is the 13/4 vibration. This is the 9, and this is the 4. This here, Tipreth or beauty, is in the heart chakra. Okay. And here that connects the path of the 13-4, the death card that's on here, connects the third chakra with the heart. Okay. We need to let go of our sense that we as ego are in control, as opposed to the spiritual side of us is in control. It's a higher vibration. It's not about control, but it's about, for the ego, it's about allowing. It's about allowing spirit for it to go back to spirit, to go back home. And it gets reabsorbed in that spirit. And it loses its individuality to a certain extent. But it never completely loses who it is, because it is, that part of us is what we learned at that time, whatever lifetime. Here we have the the 9 vibration here, connecting the heart chakra with the throat chakra, right? So this is divine will. This is speaking from the heart, okay? So we're letting go of the ego. We're speaking from the heart, and we're being guided by wisdom. This is the path for the year. Okay, we're being guided by wisdom, and the heart is wisdom. So we're being guided by the wisdom of the heart, and the active chakras are the 6th, the 5th, the 4th, and the 3rd this month. So, I mean, they're all active, but they're especially active with the heart being really at the center, that love. I am here, I am ready, guide me. That's what Shri and Kira say. If you don't know who they are, you can check them out on Shri and Kira official Shri and Kira on YouTube. They're pretty wild, and they're out there, but they are right on. They see things way ahead of most people. They're very connected. All right, so I think that is where we stop for the numerology and a little bit of the Kabbalah for September. I will be back, and we will do the astrology. But I'm going to do that in a separate video, I think. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you soon with the other part of this. Take care.